Whips on the scene. The rest is history. The best game of his pro career was last week.
We are off and running in the 2024 PLL Championship. You got a couple of beasts at the stripe with Nardella for the Whips and Sisselberger for the Archers, and it's Maryland who wins the initial possession. Joe Nardella, by the way, has now taken over sole possession of
Rambo and Williams. There's such a load, big bodies down there at attack.
Whips head coach Jim Stagnidis says,
to deal with the combo of Rambo and Williams, there's such a load, big bodies down there at attack.
Whips head coach Jim Stagnidis says, Matt Rambo's taken on a different role this year. They drafted TJ Malone. He's taken over as the quarterback, but when you need a big goal, Rambo is still the guy. He's on the board first. Loose ball in the corner. Archers, the Western Conference champions this year. First season of the Premier Lacrosse League with
One of the pieces to that is acquiring Ryan Conrad and making him a threat behind the goal, inverting. And you didn't see him doing that a ton with the Water Dogs. He has lived behind the cage since he's become a Whip.
Run.
In terms of
boys on the ground ball pickup. Go ahead, RB.
In terms of matchups, this is the problem the Whips present. When you got Anderson and Conrad, you put a pull on one of those two.
That's a 2, and Dobson.
Who've been magnificent. Malone in the 3rd round. Patra in the 4th round. Delivering on the biggest stage.
Nardella scoops up the face-off himself. It was this lot before he could take the shot. But Patra, you said it, Carter. 4th round pick out of Loyola. His goal and his point totals went up each of his 5 years playing for the Greyhounds.
A lot, and I'll tell you why. They're struggling to generate offense in the settled 6-on-6 looks. When you dodge early in the shot clock and the defense isn't set up, they're out of their regular slide rotation. If you could own one-on-one matchup there, and more could, you're going to get a late slide.
Great effort for Moore, keeping that inbound. Sisselberger is on it for the Archers. The shot clock has begun for Utah after they initially won the faceoff. Now Dunn comes away with it for Maryland. Under 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Whips can hold for 1 here.
He's late for the game. I mean, life comes at you fast. Like, he only has 2 guys from his original team in 2019 playing today. So his ability to adapt and evolve year over year, super impressive, and the numbers back it up.
You look back at the Whips, their 2020 championship team. They've got 8 guys from that roster playing today. Adam Patra's a new face, and he looks good in his first championship. The rookie's got 2 goals.
With the 32-second shot clock after a face-off win, you've got to have a sense of urgency. And what Patra affords you is the ability to go 2 ways. So when they win that face-off call, they don't have to slow it down, they don't have to sub, it's go time.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd time quickly out of a substitution he's attacked this Utah defense. Both unassisted goals. He's a rookie from Loyola where he played attack and midfield throughout his career. He is so smooth with the left hand, and you know, Zed Williams has been a little quiet. 1 for 10 shooting in the postseason. He's 0 for 4 today. I said earlier, they can win ugly with multiple guys. Patra's the guy so far.
Any hockey fans out there, if the name Patra sounds familiar, Adam's younger brother Matt plays for the Boston Bruins. And Adam's got 2 goals today, leading the Whips to a 4-1 lead. Early 2nd quarter, they win another faceoff.
And another ground ball from Squad.
Shot from downtown.
It was way outside. Took that from State College. First round pick out of Marquette, Mason Woodward. What an effort. And you're right, that is a juice goal. It just feels entirely different in this building right now.
And that's championship level.
Grab all the attention of the Whips defense and float LeClaire into a space where his hands are free and he can set his feet, because he is brilliant from that spot. Here's a look at his regular season shot clock. You can just tell from a chart perspective, he loves that exact area.
Only 1 touch in the first quarter. And this is a guy that led all midfielders in goal scoring. To only have 1 touch, we knew he needed to get more involved.
Yeah, he's the most underrated player at his position in the league, because in the past he's played defensive midfield, he's played on wings, he's had to play attack in the past when some guys are injured. He is a complete chameleon, Drew.
Nardella lost his lid on the faceoff.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have a reface. Both Nardella coming to the sideline. Sisselberger will remain. We're going to have a reface. Yeah, the momentum change here is palpable. It's what makes lacrosse so fun. If you're a lacrosse fan, you know all about it. These games can turn on a dime in a second. If you're new to the sport of lacrosse, this is what it's all about. It's a game of runs. It's a lot of fun.
3 points for the Archers in just 33 seconds. It went from a 4-1 deficit to a 4-4 tie.
Matt Moore is back on the field, 11 in orange. That's good news for Chris Bates to get his cagey bet.
How about Jake Bernhardt winning that faceoff for Maryland? The veteran captain, 83, takes the shot himself. Airmails at 23 to shoot.
Mid-season trade that was so critical with all the injuries to Rookie of the Year last year, Tucker Dordovic and Brad Smith.
Clean win for Nardella, takes it right to glory, missed the shot. Malone from outside, closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. Maryland keeps it with 24 to shoot.
It looked like some.
Because of the way that this offense kind of just fell into place, he's been playing midfield. All he's done now is become the leading scorer from the midfield in the PLL. And when you get him behind, he's got so many options in there. He just felt like he owned goal line extended on Zapatello.
There's a 2-by, and it goes! It's Alex Mazzone. Whips back in front just like that.
In the regular season, the Whipsnakes had 9 2-pointers and had the highest 2-point shooting percentage. In the postseason, just 1 2-pointer and 7%. Mazzone tees this up,
Wiping
the goal off.
Wiping the goal off. The head of the stick came off before the ball crossed the goal line.
Wow.
Goal is wiped off.
That is a massive.
The head of the stick comes flying off as he releases the shot. Therefore, the shot doesn't count. Therefore, the 2-pointer doesn't
Yeah, the head
count.
of the stick fell off his shaft after the ball crosses the plane. Different story, right, Quinn?
The dangerous play. The head of the stick flies off. He's got an uncovered titanium shaft going towards a defender. That's a dangerous play.
He's been beyond terrific. Talk about stacking performances in playoff games, too. I mean, this is what makes you in the conversation with Blaze Reardon, who was kind of in his own stratosphere. Now you have Brett Dobson. If they win it here, back-to-back, with these kind of playoff performances, RB, he's in the discussion.
And Blaze just won Goalie of the Year again Friday night over at the National Constitution Center at the PLL End of Year Awards. Another great night, part of the biggest weekend in PLL history. At the awards Friday night, street lacrosse yesterday, the Founders Dinner as well. Now the championship, which is shaping up to be a dandyism. First goal in more than 12 minutes for Utah. Nardella wins it cleanly. Right to glory. Lefty shot saved by Dobson.
This Utah defense is good when the ball is on the floor. So the Utah defense are on Malone behind, 7 and white. Conrad, being the smart lacrosse player he is, knows that's his opportunity to cut. A little bit of a lull, play them a little bit, and bam, cut.
Sisselberger won the faceoff cleanly. Archers operating in that 32-second shot clock. Moore gets back to his right hand. A step on Zapatello, and he beats Krebs.
When you go early in the shot clock, there's just a little bit more space to operate. And Moore has feasted on those opportunities today. And normally there's a rollback, you expect a slide, but when it's 5-on-5, Clark, there's just a little bit more space to operate.
It's 5-on-5, but it's also Ajax Zapatello who's holding his opponents in the second half of the season to under 20% shooting. So they are putting a lot of confidence in their rookie right there without sliding to him. And Moore knows if you get to the middle of the field and there's no slide help there, look at that angle he's shooting at.
Sisselberger knocked off his spot by Nardella. His pass out of bounds. Great effort in the corner by Moore.
Flag.
You got a flag behind the play.
Whipsnakes foul. Whipsnakes foul number 91. 30-second technical push.
I'll tell you one crazy thing with the Whipsnakes is they've been in power play kill positions all season. Nobody has scored in the power play against the Whips.
We didn't ask for approval when we did.
The countdown continues. Nardella wins it forward, scoops it up behind the back feed, but Williams couldn't handle the pass. And that'll be Archer's ball.
It was a great hustle play there by John Robbins, 41 in orange, from the face-off wing to sprint down to get the
up. And that's Leclerc's absolute wheelhouse. Feet set from 12 yards, turn and rake.
Yeah, it's teammates understanding, too, how to get him to a spot. One time it was on a lefty dodge by Connor Fields, knowing the double would come. This time it's on a two-man game. They know the end result. Trey Leclerc in his spot.
No midfielder scored more goals this season than Trey Leclerc. You call him underrated, Clark. I mean,
it's like embarrassing to say it, right? Because he's so good.
Former attackman at Ohio State. Played some D-Mini just to stick on this roster with Schreiber out for the year.
He finds himself back playing for it all.
The Whips led 4-1 after the first quarter. It's 9-2. Archer 6. Nardella spins out of trouble. That abbreviated
here. And to do it without Tom, I think speaks volumes about the infrastructure of this program. Obviously, defensively, holding chaos to just one goal, and now the Whipsnakes to 7.
But do not count out the Maryland Whipsnakes. They were down 3 with under 6 minutes.
Throw to the middle of the field when you're being pressured on the defensive end.
That's the classic good play, bad play scenario. He makes such an educated move from his crease to become that extra defender to stop the attack, and then he kind of panics on the backhanded outlet. You got to move your feet. You got to run yourself out of trouble. You can't take chances in front of your own goal.
It does when he gets the pass.
That play's been around for longer than this past spring, just for what it's worth.
Quint was referring to Notre Dame.
I know what he's referring to.
Yeah, Chris Kavanaugh finishing those shots.
That play's been run for years and years and years. Good Aris Barra, great artist.
It's like the mumbo. When it works, it works.
Every faceoff so critical right now. Whipsnakes violated there, so it's Archer's ball. As we got 3 minutes to play.
You think about the first weekend of the season up in Albany. This defense didn't look remotely close to it. Mason Woodward now has become a mainstay. The growth of this defense, to me, is the story. Everyone thinks, oh, they won it last